Crash, crash, crash. Actually, it doesn't hit the TIDYTAIL. That's awesome. Hello and welcome back to Speed Freak Garage, home of PowerSports on YouTube. For those of you who just came to this video through a search, you have actually missed part 1 and part 2 technically. So part 1 was the front installation of our Takomoto TIDYTAIL, and part 2 was the rear installation of our Takomoto TIDYTAIL. So now, technically this video is part 3, which is the installation of the EnduroPlate, which, although not made by Takomoto, I did purchase it from Takomoto. So this is technically part 3 if you're wondering what's going on, why the bike looks different, and why there's tools and junk everywhere. So we are going to be installing the EnduroPlate license plate holder. And the reason for this is, in my opinion, and all the research I've done, this is the best license plate holder to pair with the Takomoto TIDYTAIL. So we're going to go ahead and open it up, and they were kind enough to provide instructions, which I really wish more people would provide instructions. Even if the instructions have a QR code to an install video, just send me instructions, please. These are some super strong magnets. We don't want them too close to our laptop. And a hardware kit. Okay, and then, yes, 2 things real quick I need to go over from part 1 of the video, since, yes, this is technically part 3. So if you're an experienced motorcycle mechanic or just an experienced fabricator or whatever, then you can install this just fine by yourself. You don't need this video, so I don't want to hear your comments saying the video's too long. And then I may drop some cuss words, and that's why at the beginning of every video you see this logo. So please have the courtesy to understand that I have warned you and don't complain. All right. Yeah. So thank you for purchasing EnduroPlate. You'll be able to use factory hole, otherwise use template, dry fit, clearance for hinge, locate and mark for a 7/32, which I'm hoping this is. It's a 3/16, so it's slightly smaller than 7/32. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my 3/16. Do not modify holes in EnduroPlate. Washers and bolts. Okay, so they did provide a little template, and the FE501S, this is 2024 FE501S, is going to need that. So again, the EnduroPlate, that's strong, which is good. What is that? Is that double-sided tape? No, I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna mess with it. Yeah. So the EnduroPlate, pretty cool. So here's the deal though. This bike only has 1 factory hole, and from this perspective, and I swear I'm not crazy, it looks off center. I mean, it just looks off. But Brandon, who is helping me for part 2 of the video, said that you can actually see it's dead center in the molding back here. So some kind of optical illusion is messing with my head, and having a tape measure for this job probably. So it's at 1 3/4. Oh, it is off. I was right. Whoa, it's off by an 1/8 inch. I got to rub that in on Brandon. I wonder if they just kind of messed the hole up a little bit, but this has plenty of adjustability. It's not like it's going to be a huge deal. So, and one thing you have to be careful of is, for one, you don't want to block your light. but you want a sturdy connection. So I think we are going to have a little bit of a rough time with this today, because you want it to flip up, right? You want it to flip out of the way in the event of a wreck. So I am most likely going to end up having to, I can't put it up like this to use 4 holes because it's not going to flip up. So I need to come down enough that it can really move, which means I'm probably only going to get away with using 3 bolt holes, and they're all going to be custom drilled. This one I don't think is going to work, and that's fine with me. There's actually a factory pinhole right here that I could probably use to guide my drill bit. I think would be a good start. So if I use this factory pinhole, like I wish I could use this. Yeah, we're gonna have a time here. Might need some washers to offset this lip. And I want to do this right, because when things come out crooked, it bothers me, and I'm assuming we're buying a new piece of plastic just because I drilled the hole crooked is going to be very, very expensive. I had thought about using a level, like a bubble level, to level the plate, but then I realized that my stand is too wobbly and flimsy to be, it's not level, and I don't even know if the floor is 100% level. So hopefully I'm just going fast enough that you won't be able to tell it's crooked. For those of you that know how little I ride, then you will laugh. So we are literally using this OEM hole. Okay, now that looks centered. So this is, I cannot wait to rub that in on Brandon, because he was dead sure this was center. So it's very, very few times I actually get to win the bet against Brandon. That boy's a genius. All right, so centered hole, and just clean it out. Okay, now we need to carefully cut our template. One thing you can also do if you don't like paper templates, which I don't like paper templates, is you can use this as a template. Like we could bolt it down and then just pop the hole right through by hand. And in fact, that's probably what I'm gonna do, because from my experiences, like putting in the race louvers in my car, the paper templates will get you very, very close, but it's easy to make a mistake. So we're gonna need to get some washers to offset that, and hopefully, don't think they provided washers. No, they did not. So they are saying to use washers under the head of the bolt, but that's not going to help us. Do we want? Oh yeah, they want washers behind too. So we're going to get those 3 ready. Actually, one thing that Brandon and I had discussed was, so there's no more side reflectors and there's no rear reflectors on this. So I think it would be beneficial to find those license plate screws that have reflectors on them for these 2 bottom holes. And worst case, they just break and you just pay another $5. And then for the side, you could 3D print a little L bracket and then put a reflector on each side, or white reflective tape, but that would probably get ripped up. I'm trying to be safe here. This is my daily street driving vehicle, so it needs to be safe. Well, there's no reflectors up front, so I already put it away. I don't understand the deal with the giant chunky tail that they always come with. So I think I'm going to have to venture away from my nice clean workstation and dig through. We're going to try and estimate how many it will take to level everything out. Okay. I am seeing about 3 washers, I think, would do good. Might bring me 4 washers, I think, would be way too many. So we'll start with 3, see what happens. Hopefully these screws are long enough. And it sucks I can't attach. Oh, that didn't go well. Okay, I forgot to grab Allen wrenches, didn't I? Yeah. So we're gonna go through here like that, and then we're gonna do 3 of these washers. Wow. I might have to go get bigger and longer screws, which I probably don't have either. The longest M5 I have is this one, and it's the last one in the whole kit. What happened to my assortment? Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. This one will be plenty long enough. Ooh, EnduroPlate just caught. EnduroPlate just got caught using cheap stainless. So look at this. That is extremely low quality Chinese stainless. So I guess I don't feel so bad now about using black oxide. For those of you wondering, stainless, or at least good quality stainless, is supposed to be non-magnetic. And yes, sometimes there is a slight bit of residual magnetism in halfway decent stainless, but it shouldn't be enough to hang a bolt from a magnet like that. So that's interesting. All right, yeah, this will be just enough. Pop that on back in there. And I really like that. I drilled it a little undersized, so now we have to like thread it into the plastic. That's gonna help me a lot here while we're working on it. So, all right, how do we get this straight and level? And I'm gonna, unfortunately, just have to tell you, it's gonna be eyeballed. We'll drill directly in the middle of these 2 slots. And then when we do that, we'll still have a little bit of adjustment. So now we can flip it up. All right, crash the bike. Flip it up. Perfect. And it's just under the license plate LEDs. So we should be good to go. I am happy with this. We can kind of line it up from up here, but I think we're gonna need to tighten it some more so it doesn't wobble around while we're drilling. Okay. And it's a nylock, so it's, oof, I'm barely getting into that nylock. Actually, I probably should be smart about it and find the right size. It's gonna be the 8 that is currently right there. Okay. So I'm not gonna like super gorilla tighten it yet. We're just gonna, those magnets are so crazy strong. Just gonna get it enough that it's not gonna move on us. And then I am so nervous about trying to line this up. Like, I don't have a good way to do it. I think it's gonna come down to the way it looks. That looks damn close enough, at least close enough to drill it. If we step back, it looks straight. So we're gonna go ahead and pop our holes. And since we have an undersized bit, you can just pop right through the plate. No need for paper template. But again, if you need to use a paper template, go ahead. Just be careful. I got masking tape So you would cut the template out real carefully, get it lined up, masking tape it down, drill your holes, okay? I was hoping to show you guys that, but it's really not the right way to do it on this particular 2024 501s. Okay, see, that looks a little crooked to me, but the stand is crooked. The stand's crooked, so we're just gonna go with it. Okay. And my holes are a little off, but it's fine because they're slotted, right? It's a little warm. Okay, I'm done with that now. So now I need to drop these in. And what I do with the, yeah. So I actually am kind of happy with how this turned out without the stainless, because, well, it'll be under the license plate, so it doesn't matter. Never mind. I was going to say it's color matching now, but it's under a plate, so it won't matter what color it is. Okay. So this is a long video for a simple install, but the point is guiding people through. So we are going to run this in, and then we're going to run this in, and I was gonna go to the store this morning and grab those reflective screws. I am going to hold off on that, I think, for now, just because the front doesn't have reflectors. I don't know, I think it'd be really cool to have reflective tape or like a clear vinyl that's reflective. I don't even know if they make that. That would be awesome. All right, so now is our final chance to line everything up, because we could potentially have moved something with the drill. And I think we did accidentally move it a little bit. It's very hard to tell in the lighting situation and with the bike being crooked and everything, but I do think, how else could I don't really think there's any other way. Like, I'd have to go get calipers and be super crazy OCD about it, but I really think, that's basically dead on. So we're going to go ahead and ooh, I am seeing little fireflies. I probably need to eat. I drank too many energy drinks yesterday and stayed up too late. Not doing so good today. Definitely right back to the couch after finishing editing this video. Okay. Yeah. Probably should get a picture of this barcode so I know what part to buy when I wreck the bike. Well, it's got part numbers here too. Never mind. Of all the stupid things they do, at least they include part numbers on the parts. I even found, well, different story. But, all right, so now we are going to tighten the living shit out of this bottom one, because it's still not really engaged in the nylock. And the rule is you want a full thread past the top of it. But you also don't want to smash it and ruin it. We're already kind of smashing it down through this rubber piece here that's holding everything together. So I think I'm going to call that. And if it vibrates loose, then I'll just have to get a longer screw or a different type of locking nut. Okay. So now this one, we want to get it, make sure we just engage it in the nylock. And it's all just plastic, but we need to get that one thread poking through the nylock, and I'm not getting that. These screws are way too short. way over tightening it, but I gotta get a full thread poking out of the nylock or they won't stay. Okay. All right. And then obviously you need to put your plate on, which, you know, should be able to handle that. I definitely want to get reflective, the two reflective, and they're actually spring-loaded reflectors, so the plastic nuts stay tight. I've always been kind of impressed that they don't come loose. I guess it's just a property of the plastic that it kind of seizes once you get it tight enough. So we're gonna go ahead and put our plate back on, which I don't want you to know where I live, so we are being cautious with that. And yeah, I mean, the video was over 5 minutes ago, but you know, you never know. Maybe somebody wants to know how to attach their license plate. I don't know. I'm making the video for the everyday not mechanic. You can see I even tore pieces away from the tape I had put in, so there was room for the screws. It's funny. Okay. And I actually, in the future, whenever I go about getting the bike vinyl wrapped, I will get a vinyl piece cut to replace this and probably just do either PowerSports or Speed Freak Garage over this, because this is not going to match my color scheme. And yeah, self-advertising on a part that is very expensive also just rubs me the wrong way. So we're going to make sure the plate's straight. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to tighten them down really, really tight, because the tension on that plastic bolt is what prevents it from backing back out. Okay. And I need to pull the tape off before I drive, or that'll be a very, 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 very expensive ticket, possibly jail. They take that really seriously when you don't have a plate around here. They've been pulling people over for expired tags that are, oh, there's whole stories. They're cracking down hard. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the 3-part series for the Takomoto TIDYTAIL lighting bundle, and then our, oh my god, I crashed EnduroPlate. Crash, crash, crash. Actually, it doesn't hit the TIDYTAIL. That's awesome. So, cool. Again, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.
Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car.